After many DLC add-ons for the first Dragon's Age, the time has now come for BioWare to release Dragon Age 2. Okay, well, actually the game's been out for half a year and I picked it up at a Boxing Day sale for $29.99, but I mean, what else could I possibly review this week? Modern Warfare 3? Unless I want a whole bunch of fanboys on my case. So we're doing Dragon Age 2 this time. Is it better than its predecessor, or has the well-made formula been broken? Alright, so to explain the story of this game, the review would have to be about 20 minutes, and we're not going to do that, specifically because YouTube hates me. So the basic gist of it is that the Templars are hunting down apostates, which are mages, because they believe them to be a threat, and more mages have been turning to blood magic, which is a controversial, forbidden magic that the public fears. The main character, Hawk, a character created by you, is tasked with ending this pointless conflict. Oh, and there's these Kunari people that want some artifact that was stolen from them or they can't go home, and there's this evil mind-damaging idol, and there's... Okay, it's pretty complicated. The story, while not as grand as Origins, really sucks you in, and you begin to really care about the characters and consequences of your actions. BioWare has always had that stuff to create a good story, and they accomplish it once again here. You'll also be pleased to know that the story can be understood if you haven't played the previous game, which is something most sequels tend not to do. The game plays similarly to pretty much any JRPG on the market. You gather a party, go off questing, and slaying beasts for townsfolk, and eventually continuing on in the story. If there's anything to complain about, it's the rigid mission structure. Most missions ask you to do the same thing, go from point A to point B, kill something, then get a reward. The ones that mix up the formula tend to be the best ones. One problem with the story being so open is that the difficulty tends to go from a walk in the park to virtually the entire freaking world against you in the blink of an eye. One thing that may piss a few of you off is the fact that there's actually only about 6 environments and 20 level layouts, which means just about every dungeon is the exact same thing. Matter of fact, there's even areas that are on the map that you can't access because they're just in the level's code. This may in fact be the best voice acting I've ever heard from any game.
There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
Everyone is on the mark. There's a few sequences where the hero character has some rather out-of-place tone while conversing, but that's just the nature of the game having so many dialogue choices. The music, while usually that stock epic movie sound, has a few pieces that really stand out at you. Fenris's theme and Hera battle, to name 2 of them. There's also something really cool about the sound effect of your weapons unsheathing, and... Okay, that's not really a big point, I just realized that this script isn't long enough for this section of the review. Oh well, moving on. Here's where the game takes a harsh nosedive. The in-game graphics are subpar, and the technical issues are astoundingly bad. The cutscenes have glitches where sometimes the black bars that are supposed to be in front of everything else to give it that movie-like feel get overshadowed by the background. I'd expect this from a rushed movie-based game, but this should not be in a AAA selling title, especially with the pedigree of BioWare. There are also a number of game-breaking glitches, some of which are bad enough that they make the quest you're currently on unplayable because the game doesn't register if you've done something. I literally had to start the game over because I accidentally saved when the game glitched. Slowdown is also a very constant problem, and it just feels like the 360 version was a rush port and it could have used some more time in development. Also, the text needs to be made bigger. But there's some good to be seen here. The CG sequences are well made, and little touches like having your party members randomly conversing are nice things that immerse you in the world of Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2 is better than Origins in some ways and worse in others. It's nice to see a main protagonist that actually talks for once, and the gameplay is pretty solid. The voice acting is miles better, but the game's performance is its only real downfall, and it's a big downfall, and it'll pretty much ruin the game if you let it. Me, I was fond of it personally because I wanted to trudge through and see how the amazing story was going to wrap up. And having beat the game, I've realized that BioWare has stuck me in a trap. Now I have to go buy the DLC to continue the story. Damn it. Well played, BioWare. Well played.